Look. You wake up already tired. You tell yourself today I'm going to be productive. You even have a plan. Maybe you saved a video, bookmarked a course, wrote a goal in your notes app. And then, nothing happens. You scroll. You procrastinate. You wait for motivation that never comes. At night, you replay the same thought in your head. Why am I like this? Why can't I just do what I know I should do? And the worst part? You start calling yourself lazy, undisciplined, unmotivated. But here's the thing. If you were truly lazy, you wouldn't feel guilty. You wouldn't care. You wouldn't be watching this video. So, if that's you, stay with me. Because what I'm about to explain might be uncomfortable, but it could completely change how you see yourself. My name is Miguel, and I spend way too much time thinking about the truth is you're not lazy, you're mentally trapped. This is how winners escape. If you're someone who knows what to do financially but feels stuck, overwhelmed, or mentally blocked from actually executing, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're going to dismantle one of the most damaging lies in personal finance and success culture. Challenging the biggest lie early. Here's what most people don't realize. Laziness is not the problem. According to research published by the American Psychological Association, over 70% of adults report chronic stress related to money, and that stress directly reduces decision-making ability, motivation, and impulse control. In other words, when your brain is under financial stress, it literally cannot function at full capacity. So when you don't take action, when you avoid your finances, when you procrastinate important decisions, that's not laziness. That's a trapped nervous system. And this is where it gets really interesting. The psychology behind financial paralysis. Listen, your brain has one primary job. Keep you safe. Not successful. And safety, to your brain, means familiar, predictable, low risk. Even if your current financial situation is stressful, uncomfortable, or barely survivable, it's still known. So when you think about starting a business, investing money, asking for a raise, learning a new skill, changing careers, your brain doesn't see opportunity. It sees threat. Neuroscientists call this loss aversion, the tendency to fear losses about 2x more intensely than we desire gains. This concept was proven by Nobel Prize-winning economist Daniel Kahneman. So even if success could massively improve your life, your brain says, yeah, but what if it fails? And then it shuts you down. Why discipline fails most people? Now, you might be thinking, okay, Miguel, but some people are disciplined. Some people grind. Why can't I? Here's the uncomfortable truth. Discipline without clarity becomes self-punishment. Most people try to force discipline on top of no clear system, no emotional safety, no realistic plan. That's like pressing the gas pedal while the parking brake is still on. You don't move faster. You just burn out. This is why motivation videos work for about 12 hours and then disappear. The math of why you feel stuck. Let's talk numbers for a second. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans can't cover a $400 emergency. The median retirement savings for people under 35 is less than $14,000. Over 60% of workers live paycheck to paycheck. So if you're financially stressed, you're not behind. You're statistically normal. But here's the problem. When everyone around you is struggling, struggle feels permanent. And your brain quietly assumes this is just how life is. That belief is the cage. Mental traps that masquerade as laziness. Let's break down the real traps. Trap number 1, decision fatigue. When you're constantly worried about money, your brain burns energy just surviving. By the time it's time to build something, you're exhausted. Trap number 2, learned helplessness. If you've tried before and failed, your brain starts associating effort with pain. So it avoids effort entirely. Trap number 3, identity lock. You don't act lazy, you identify as lazy. And once something becomes identity, your brain defends it. Story: the moment everything clicked. Let me tell you a quick story. I once worked with someone who kept saying, "I just can't stick to anything." Same pattern. Big plans. No execution. But when we broke down his life, here's what we found. He was working 50+ hours. Carrying debt anxiety constantly. Never actually saw progress, only effort. So his brain said, "Why try?" We didn't fix discipline. We fixed feedback. Within 45 days, everything changed. Here's what winners do differently. Here's what most people don't realize. Winners don't rely on motivation. They rely on momentum. And momentum comes from small, provable wins. This is where it gets really interesting. The escape plan, actionable steps. Step 1, shrink the goal. Your goal isn't financial freedom. Your goal is: save $1,000. Invest your first $100. Learn one income skill. Big goals paralyze. Small goals activate. Step 2, reduce cognitive load. Automate everything. Automatic savings. Automatic investing. Fewer decisions. The less thinking required, the more action happens. Step 3, rebuild identity. Stop saying, "I'm bad with money." Start saying, "I'm learning how money works." Identity comes before behavior. Step 4, create visible progress. Progress fuels dopamine. Dopamine fuels consistency. Track something. Anything. Addressing the big objection. Now you might be thinking, "Miguel, this sounds nice, but I don't have enough money." That's exactly why this matters. You don't escape poverty with intensity. You escape it with structure. The surprising truth about wealthy people. Wealthy people aren't more motivated. They're less stressed. They remove friction. They reduce fear. They design environments that make success easier. Final motivation. Understand this first: you're not broken. You're not lazy. You're not behind. You're just operating with a brain that's been under pressure for too long. And the moment you stop blaming yourself and start redesigning your system, everything changes. If this video gave you clarity, hit the like button, it helps more than you think. Subscribe if you want practical, honest conversations about money, mindset, and building a future that actually works. And comment below. What's the mental trap you're breaking first? Because awareness is the first step out.